Check, 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 check. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Let me see. Let me see if we're live on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, are we live? Are we live? Yes, we are live on YouTube. Let me make sure the audio is good on YouTube. Perfect, perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. We are live with the founder of Star Atlas, Michael Wagner, right here. He's going to walk us through an overview of what Star Atlas is, their new on-chain game, free to play with 35,000 in rewards, their new chain that will have an airdrop very, very soon, and also their UE5 and what's going on with their UE5 game that you can download it right now on Epic Games. So let's get this started. Let's introduce right here my good friend, Michael Wagner. Here we go. What's up, Michael? Let us know what is happening.
What's up, man? It's good to be here. Always good catching up with you. Always good chatting with you. Screen was cutting out just a little bit there. I want to make sure. Is the connection good? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, everything good. Everything perfect, yeah.
Cool. Well, Kagi, man, it's always great to catch up with you. You've been a longtime supporter, OG in the Star Atlas ecosystem. I love your spicy and controversial takes out there. One of the spiciest guys on X, but great to be here, man. And looking forward to just covering the expanse that is Star Atlas and then this new initiative that we're working on, Zinc, the SVM L1 that we're now launching.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for those words, man. Yeah, I love what you guys are doing. You guys are here 4 or 5 years now, almost 5 years now. A lot of people gave you FUD, but you guys are still here standing and working every single day. And I see it every single day. It's crazy. One of the best content in terms of just the whole game, the way you guys tweet, the way you guys do content overall, release new content. It's like, it really is top quality. And I think people know that. People know that. You guys should have won best art in the, but yeah, that's another conversation. Let's go into what Star Atlas is for the people that don't know. I'm gonna put it up here on screen. Let's do that right now. So give us an overview of what Star Atlas is right now and what it has to offer, because you guys have many products. And of course, we're going to talk about specifically today Holo Sim, but I know you have many other things going on in the Star Atlas universe.
Yeah, and I mean, the Star Atlas universe, as I said, is quite expansive. There's a lot happening here. I think right now what you're streaming is actually just the new landing page that we launched on staratlas.com, but covering a very high level. And I want to touch on one point actually really quickly. You said a lot of different products, and that's true. We have a lot of different implementations of the game, a lot of different ways that you can engage, but everything that we're building is all integrated through fully on-chain game logic. It's all a single Star Atlas universe, and it doesn't matter if you're playing the free-to-play game or the browser version of the game or what we're showing off right now, which is really the big picture, longer-term vision, is building out AAA quality, which I know that gets tossed around a lot, but ultra high fidelity space adventure open world MMO. Now, this is a very ambitious and very long kind of timeline for development, but that's number one. That's our primary focus. I see Mike off there. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have played, obviously, Star Atlas. And for the people that don't know, you guys can check out, if you guys go to Juice News, I'm going to put it here on screen. So you guys can see how crazy this world will be. And it is already. I don't think people understand how long it takes to build this, all this spaceships and all this worlds when it comes to 3D and UE5 is crazy. It's crazy. I think people are like, oh, why is the game not finished and all this stuff. It's always like that, but they don't understand how big this is. And if we go right here, let me start sharing this screen right here, this tab. I did this video. I think I did it like like two years ago, 2 years ago, and I put all the spaceships here. And it's massive. It's just massive. There's a lot going on. You can see how cool this stuff is. You can go into the spaceship. Look, this spaceship right here, this one, it's one of my favorites, actually. Let's see. We're going in there. Like, that's just high quality. That's some high quality stuff right there. I mean, anybody that doesn't understand the level of this game, they're lost. They're lost. You don't do this in 2 days, you know?
Yeah, and I mean every asset that you're looking at in our Unreal Engine client, just about every asset is custom fabricated by our team. Anything that is, say, off the shelf assets that we do use, those are just placeholders, right? Until our team goes in and does all of our own custom art design on everything. But you know, the this is an open world MMO, so the goal here is to give you a high level of fidelity, being able to walk around and explore the interior of your ships, down in third person or first person mode, and then go complete missions, go take on some bounties, go capture some criminals, go engage in territorial conquest across the different factions and regions of space, engage in political domination using our Polis token, which is the Pinaculum kind of high level DAO structure, but also will be implemented into the game for regional and faction wide governance, where you can actually dominate this and govern areas of space and in, kind of control that region and be able to impose your own taxes and impose your own laws and employ security forces to patrol the territory that you control and keep your citizens defended. And so, right now within the client, it is still early access. It is still closed access. I would mention there's many different ways that you can get a game access key. You can just enter your email on staratlas.com. You can go into our Discord. We have a channel where you can just request a key and you'll get it right away. And also in our Telegram, you can just with a bot command, you can request a key and you'll get one. This ship that you're looking at right here is still early stage art. It doesn't have any of the textures or skins on it, but we have about 60 different ships in the game that you can explore right now, from the very, very small to the absolutely massive, multi-kilometer size Titan ships.
Yeah, and I actually have this one right here. I want to show this one so people can see the different kind of routes that you can take in Star Allies. I think this one's for shipment, like when the game is actually, when you can actually, get some cargo and stuff like that. You can take a different path. You don't have to be the one that is fighting. You can be the one that is transporting goods. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so this is a freighter ship. It's the Fimble Bios Packlight is what you're looking at right now. But there's many different professions in the game, from being the CEO of a guild and looking at things from a top-down strategy perspective, to going out and engaging in combat with your fighter ships, or I mentioned bounty hunting, so picking up missions and going and tracking down fugitives and bringing them to justice, to the freighter ships, the transport ships for people. There's probably 12 different core professions that you can engage in as a player. Now those aren't all fully integrated right now, but we have like 8 different manufacturers of ships, and each of them bring their own aesthetic to the design of the assets themselves. And then you can choose if you want to go engage in combat, or if you just want to, you can be a logistics provider for people. You can pick up contracts to transport goods from them, some of the resources that people are picking up, or mining. Mining is another entire class of ships that you can specialize in. And so this is like big picture. What's in the client right now are things like Volant Station. That's what you're flying around in this video. This was part of our very first release in 2022, and it was largely an art demo environment that people could load their game assets into, view the ship NFTs that they've purchased, and now you're able to also load in different crew member NFTs that you own as well. And we have a couple of small features in here, like being able to do the in-air time trial racing, and then also a ground course. But the Unreal Engine client has come a long way. We've had, I think, 5 releases, 5 updates just over the course of this year. We actually just released one today, and it might be a little premature to go into it, but we're doing something. We've released this brand new exclusive asset to Unreal Engine that we call Ink, INK. and it is farmed by competing in arena shooter modes and in racing modes, and then it's used in the Sage gameplay, which I'll cover next. But it's a unique commodity that you can extract from the game in Unreal Engine, and we're doing a double XP weekend too. So any of your crew members that you do own that you're leveling up in the arena shooter modes, which has been a core focus of the team for the early part of this year, will get you on a progression track, gives you new loadouts, new items, like your palm jetties, your soul jetties, and then your bubbies. That's essentially like your jetpack components and your shield systems, and then also different weapons that you can pick up and start equipping as you level up your characters. But we have some really, really cool, nicely polished arena shooter modes now, racing modes. We have a dogfighting arena, as well as a co-op dogfighting arena. And one of the other things that is still in the early stages, but I think for any of the real space game enthusiasts out there, is something that we call Gallia mode. And with Gallia, you're able to start on a space station. This is all single player. Start picking up some missions, and those missions might be, again, bounty hunting and might be transporting goods. But we essentially have a storyline that we're starting to implement, and it's single player storyline for now, but it'll give you the kind of the earliest sense of what this open world MMO is going to be as we continue to build out the Unreal Engine client.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But to summarize it, basically, you have an open world that you're, basically coming out in phases, giving people a little bit of it to taste. Here we can see the FPS, which I won the tournament, by the way. But this is gonna come into play as a whole in the whole ecosystem, right? Like, you're gonna be able to go explore different worlds, pull out your weapon, kill some enemies, maybe even fight other players in this open world, and collect some resources, bring it back to your base, trade with other players. So that is the bigger scope. Now let's go into Holo Sim right here, because this is a new on-chain free-to-play game with $35,000 in rewards. And how does this play into the whole ecosystem of Star Atlas? Let's actually share right here. We can see on screen we have $35,000 in assets in this on-chain game.
Yeah, and maybe just a little bit of context. So one of the other products we released was something called Sage, Star Atlas Golden Era. That's a 2D 4X MMO that is in browser. It's currently at based.staratlas.com, and that is where our not only all of the fully on-chain gaming logic lives. So just about anything you do in that implementation of the game is a form of transaction. That's moving, that's loading inventory, it's forming fleets, it's mining, it's crafting, it's combat. And it's also where the play to earn economy is. So this is where most of our players are spending a lot of their time earning Atlas from the emissions curve. What we realized, now this has been out for about 2 years, is that the learning curve on this product itself is relatively steep. It doesn't have any tutorial system, any guidance. You do have to have some familiarity with using crypto wallets. You're connecting your wallet as you're doing here. And there's a financial barrier to entry. You have to own assets to really be able to come in and play and earn from this. And our earnings model is one that really scales with the amount of capital investment that you put into the game. And so we have some really diehard enthusiasts of this, and I'm a big player of this as well, but it's kind of difficult for new people. And so from there, we can get into Holo Sim, which is a free-to-play version of this game.
Right. So this one is easier to onboard. It's just basically email, and then little by little you start understanding what Sage is. But on top of that, you're giving rewards for participating in this free-to-play version of it, right?
Yeah, exactly right. So with Sage, it's just the earnings model is fixed based on how you use your assets. Holo Sim itself is a holographic simulated universe, or a version of Galia, which is the galaxy of Star Atlas. And so the idea and the way this ties back into the main game is that, you know, put yourself in the shoes of being the actual character in Sage or in Star Atlas, and they need to do war game training and preparation for different scenarios. And so they essentially connect a headset, they go down into this holographic version of the universe, and they do that training, and then that's what brings you into this Holo Sim version of the game. Now there's a lot of things that we're able to experiment with and play around with this that aren't as easy for us to change on the Sage side, but that's things like a tutorial system. So as you get into the game, it walks you through all of the core mechanics. How do you play? How do you form a fleet? What are star bases? How do you mine? What are the crafting recipes? This essentially guides you through that process. So the tutorial's there first, and then that extends into a bigger questing system. Now, I will say, I mean, in terms of product releases, this has been quite a popular one for us. Again, very low barrier to entry, but also just the depth and immersion of the game. It's honestly quite addictive. I've been playing this a lot myself as well. And so we take you through the questing system, and then into the storyline, and then deeper into the expertise track, where you can specialize in being a miner, or a freighter, or a merchant, or a trader. Yeah, you might as well claim that reward while you're here.
Yeah.
Collect your daily.
And, nice. I see.
Yeah.
Daily reward. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we don't have to do this live on the spot, but as you start going down through the tutorial missions, it walks you through how to play. The other thing that we've added a couple of other things, like a faction-wide chat system, so you can communicate and strategize with your faction. And I should probably take a step back and just say the territory control component of the game is based on 3 different warring or competing factions: the Mud, the Oni, and the Rooster. And so you pick your faction, and you start building out your fleets and building out territory control. Now, you are in Mud right now. That's the future of humanity.
All right.
But we added the faction chat. We also added an AI virtual companion into the game. So if you go into Sage AI.
Okay. Nice. I'm already. Yo. Yeah. We're connecting to chat here.
Yeah, you might have to refresh, but it doesn't matter really at the moment. But the point is, the Sage AI virtual companion is informed with the knowledge graph, with all of the context of the way that the game works and the lore and different mechanics. So if you get hung up on something, if you're not sure because maybe the tutorial wasn't clear enough, you can just jump over to Sage AI, ask it a question, and it can help you figure out how to play and what's next. But what I would say is probably the most compelling aspect of this game itself is that the progression is very quickly, and you can do things in this game that we just simply can't implement into Sage on Mainnet, because we have to factor for things like ROI and yield, and you can't have somebody that starts with a $15 ship go out and craft $100,000 ship. I mean, that sounds great from the player perspective, but that level of inflation is just simply not tenable. And so within Holo Sim, you can start with those extra small ships, and you can very rapidly expand out your fleet, and you can start crafting bigger assets in the game, and you can get yourself to the capital and commander ships in the game as well. And this is what I think people are really enjoying, is that sense of progression and the sense of accomplishment that you feel while you play.
Yeah, absolutely. I think an input that I do have, that I have told you before, is like a little bit more. If we were to be handheld a little bit more, I think it would do much better. For example, this is pretty good. Like if you put your focus, you will know and you will figure it out. But for example, if I were to go to tutorial step right here, form a fleet, it says open hangar menu. Bro, where is hangar menu? I'm literally right now, I'm a new player.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is hangar menu? I'm like, okay, where is it, bro? Like I really don't know right now. As you were talking, I'm like, where's hangar menu? And I'm sure I'll figure it out. But I'm like, okay, where is that? Like, just point me there. Just take me there. You know, that is
Yeah.
really my input on this, and it will take off from there even more, right? That's what I think.
It's definitely fair. You and I had a little chat about this behind the scenes, I think a week ago or so.
Yeah,
And so, one of the things that we are going to do, or it's like you said, that guided tour, which is when you start a new quest, it should center you on wherever that quest takes place, for one, and then two, highlight menus, highlight buttons, highlight
which it
the
does to a
options.
certain extent, but not completely. Yeah,
Yeah. And in fairness, we do have a lot of players who have played Sage, so they kind of understand the core mechanics. But this to us is really about new user onboarding and creating exposure to an audience, and again, eliminating those barriers to entry. If you don't know how to play the game, do you really want to come in and spend $1,000 on game assets before you understand it? And so this
yeah.
is really a great opportunity for new players to at least get a sense of what Star Atlas is, this 4X style gameplay, really the macro view over the galaxy, uh, before try before you buy type of a thing.
And the crazy part is that this on-chain game, it really is the backbone of what the 3D world is going to be. This is really what you're going to be doing in real time in 3D, basically. So you're learning it right now on chain. So you're basically earning assets, resources that you will be using later on in the future anyway. So this is a great way to kind of get the economy started. So that was really, and you always had it in mind. I think in the white paper there's like different phases and stuff like that from like 2021. So good execution there.
I think, yeah. I mean, this has always been our roadmap and the vision, and uh, Star Atlas is really unique in that we have this kind of grand macro scale fleet management style of gameplay. We also have that, right down into the ship high fidelity gameplay within Unreal Engine. But what connects all of them is the fact that we're building this with fully on-chain game logic, which is a very experimental approach. And I think nobody probably does it as extensively or as well as us. It is quite complicated, but to your point, the things that you're doing in Sage, when you mine resources from Sage, those are going to be the same resources that are in Unreal Engine. And in fact, because we're using the blockchain as the backend to our game systems, things that are happening in either the browser or in Unreal Engine are actually replicated across. So, one example I always like to use is if somebody were to go place a claim stake down on a planet in Sage and start to manage that claim stake for resource production, a player that was in Unreal Engine that happened to be flying by that planet, for example, or landing on that planet, they would see that same claim stake placed in the game. Even though somebody did it in the browser, you see it replicated in Unreal Engine. And this is why I always reinforce that what we're building is really a single unified product. There's a bunch of different ways that you can engage in it, but it's really all just part of a single play experience and a single economy.
All right, so let's see. Let's walk me through a little bit of what I have to do here. For example, it says right here, tutorial. Obviously, the tutorial will give you details. It also give you kind of like an AI guided briefing of what this all means with some lore. So this is really nice. And it says right here on the left side of your screen, you'll see your sector interface. It will show your fleets. So left side of the screen. I don't know why I don't have it.
You might, so this first one wants you to click on the Central Space Station, which is, you're in that red faction, in the mud faction. So right in the middle there is Exodus. Now that is your faction CSS. That's the home base. And so now you have the menu on the left-hand side of your screen. And what it wants you to do is go into the hangar, I believe.
Yeah,
And if
hangar.
you,
So that, okay. Let's see. Hanger, craft. Okay, hanger. Perfect. Form a
There you go.
fleet. There we go.
Yeah.
So,
So right now you're starting with just a single air bike, the smallest unit in the game, an extra small air bike. Now you could
okay.
name that fleet if you wanted to, by the way. Up in where the name, the call sign is, the little edit. If you wanted to change it from Dog's Fleet, which is just a random name that gets applied, you could call it Kagi Fleet or Kagi Stomp, Kagi Stream. Okay.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and form. So I can't use my assets here in this one.
No, that's right. Yeah, so
Okay.
this is disconnected from the assets that you've purchased, and that's the purpose of this game, is that you're starting with assets that don't have any real value. You can't bring them into the game. Everybody starts out off at the same point, and then your goal through this is to continuously expand your fleet by crafting more ships over time. So there you go.
Okay. So when I hit form fleet, it's not crafting or anything in this case. It's just like right. It creates it right away.
Yeah, and you'll only be able to form a fleet with ships that you've already produced in the game. So again, you're starting with a single ship. Now with this ship, you're going to go out and start mining some resources, and
Mm.
and we can kind of jump into that. But the resources that you mine, in fact, if you just go into crafting right now, you can claim that, and then we can move on to the next quest.
Okay. Perfect. Learning basics. All right. From the hangar menu, select a fleet, click the settings cogwheel in the top right corner of the fleet card to confirm the automation parameters for the fleet auto resupply. The default values. Okay. So we go to hangar, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Select fleet. Well, let me. That's the thing. Okay. Boom.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now click on that fleet.
okay. This one right here. It's it feels like it feels like you're on a trading fucking station or some shit. New York trading
Well,
station.
yeah, and again, we want it to be simple to get into, but there's also an enormous amount of depth and complexity to Star Atlas. So, but you start to pick these things up. So in the top right of this menu, you see that cog wheel.
Correct.
And what this is having you adjust is, and this is a feature that's actually unique to this Holo Sim, but um, instead of having to manually refuel your ship and add ammunition and put food in the inventory, which by the way, all of these, we have a concept called C4, which are the 4 core consumable resources that are necessary for all operations. So that's food, that's fuel, that's ammunition, and toolkits. Now, food, fuel, and ammunition are the main ones. So anytime you fly, you're burning fuel. Anytime you mine, you're consuming food and ammunition while you do it. So I won't get too deep there, but all it wants you to do, and you've actually completed this quest, is now you understand that you can adjust if your fleet, when you dock it at a starbase, does it automatically fill itself up with fuel? Does it automatically add ammo into the ammo inventory? Does it add food to that? And there would be reasons why you wouldn't want to do that. If you're transporting, perhaps you don't want to have your transport ship dock at a distant space station and refuel using the fuel that you have on that space station for those operations. So anyway, that's some configuration that you can do. Again, that is unique to HoloSim.
Absolutely. No. This is, I mean, for the people that really love, and for the people that have never done any on-chain game, actually, this is a great way to get into on-chain gaming because I have done a lot of on-chain games in different networks, and it is a mission. Like just getting the game started is a mission. So this is actually a great way to really onboard people into on-chain gaming. Because it is a lot of strategy. That's what on-chain games really are all about, right? A little bit of strategy, a little bit of luck in getting some items. In this case, while mining, I imagine there's some luck-based like component, whether you get some resource or something. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's a great way to onboard new users into on-chain gaming. And the people that love on-chain games, is also a great way for them to test the on-chain game in Star Atlas, which I really do think I have tried many on-chain games. Nothing comes close to this. Nothing. There is no on-chain game like this with this amount of features. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and a statistic we can talk about a little bit later when we get into Zinc, but right now, the Star Atlas game systems that run on Solana are producing anywhere from 2 to 6 million transactions per day. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes. What's really cool, although fully abstracted, is that this game is running fully on chain as well. All of these actions that you're taking are on chain actions, in much the same way that they would operate in Sage itself, the mainnet version of the game. But we've fully abstracted the wallet away, so you don't have to deal with, oh, I need to go install Soulflare wallet browser extension and add some assets and add some add some Soul for transaction fees. The purpose here, one of the product objectives, was to eliminate all of that. So you actually have a wallet. Your account is a wallet. It's created locally in browser. Now, there's no real value in any of these assets, so there's not too many concerns about security of that particular wallet. And then all of these actions are running on our Zinc infrastructure, actually.
Yeah. Let's get into the next tutorial phase, because this one actually says that it's gonna take you out of the space base and into somewhere else. So let's see. And this is like the interesting part where you start exploring the world. And start dominating with other players against other factions. So here we go. Here we have undock your fleet from the starbase. I already forgot how to open the.
Yes, all of the little circles. Yeah, exactly. All of those little circles on the map, those are different star bases. And also, I just want to point out one thing. You see that transparent, translucent red circle around that area on the map. So that is your safe zone. You can't be attacked while you're in there. And each one of the factions has their own safe zone. Now, as soon as you explore outside of that, we have combat activated in this. So people will fly by and they will destroy your fleets if you're outside of there, but that's okay because the entire tutorial takes place within that safe zone.
Okay.
Each one of the circles are a star base, and those star bases have different materials that you can mine at them.
Hey, you're getting so. I'm gonna interrupt you right here. Are you getting some good comments out here on YouTube? Says Zoe, longtime supporter of my channel. Yo, this man needs to tell every other Web3 gaming dev to pull their head out of their ass and do exact same thing in my. Oh my god. Yeah, because he has been a supporter of this channel. We have been playing many games for at least 5 years together. Anything from MMOs to shooters to everything, and they just don't integrate any crypto to it, and this is the essence of crypto. It's not to make it harder. It's not to say, oh, make it harder with crypto. It's no, integrate what crypto is all about. Being able to trade resources, to find resources, give us freedom. And there's freedom in this game. There's the freedom of like getting all these resources and being able to trade with other players, fight other players. And to put that on chain, it's like, why are these games not doing it? I know why, but I'm just saying, like, bro, this is what we want,
Because it's insanely hard to do. And to do well.
Yeah. Holy shit. Why is he the only one who gets it? I agree. There's only a handful of teams that get it. I would say it's Star Atlas, Axie, maybe Aavegotchi, that they always had but it's only a few. There's probably like 10, 20 teams that actually understand crypto and gaming together. No more than that, really. Everything else is kind of gimmick. But it is what it is. It's part of the process of growing the industry. We didn't have this 5 years ago, so now we at least have 10, 20 teams that understand. So little by little, we'll get there. All right, so let's get into this step right here. Leaving the nest. Okay, so I'm gonna go here into my hangar. Let's see. All captain, your fleet is fueled, stocked, and ready for action. Now it's time to undock and begin your journey across Galia Expanse, which is the world in Star Atlas, Galia, right? This is a good opportunity to show you how different careers mechanics work. First up, Mining, a cornerstone of galactic economy. Head back to your fleet in the hangar and click on dock. Okay, let's do that. Hangar. My English reading skills are like below first grade, so hang on tight.
Well, on the next one, we have to do at least one more after this one. But on the next one, you can just play the audio. Team's done a really good job. I mean, they're all AI generated. Like this is not, super high quality voiceover work, but it's all AI generated voice, and you can actually just listen to the quest or mission directives if you prefer.
Yeah, you don't have to listen to me. Okay,
Nothing better than the soothing voice of AI,
Yeah. I mean, people are getting used to it. At the beginning, AI was like, "Oh, AI, whatever, blah 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 blah." But now people are getting used to it. It is a tool for growth. So, all right, a few of forgotten stars. Okay, I undocked my fleet. That's what I did, right? So now I have
Yes.
a mission. Let's see. It says right here, mine hydrogen and dock your ship once the cargo is full. Okay, we could play this and see how it goes. Let's see.
Time to begin your career as a miner. We'll start right here in our current sector. First, click on the Central Space Station sector, the one where your fleet is currently located. On the left side of your screen, you'll see a list of all fleets in this sector. Look for the Your Fleet section at the very top and select your undocked fleet. This will reveal a row of action buttons along the bottom of your screen. These are your fleet commands. Now, click the Start Mining button in the center of that panel. A new window will appear showing the available resource in this star system, hydrogen, one of the most important resources in Galea, as it is the raw material for fuel. This interface will also tell you how much fuel and ammunition will be used, how long the mining will take to fill your cargo. Go ahead and begin the mining operation. Keep an eye on your progress using either the mining window or the Fleet Info tab in the upper right corner of your screen. Once your cargo is full, click the Stop Mining button in the Mining tab, then close the window. Finally, click the Dock button, the first one on the bottom fleet panel, and let's bring our hard-earned hydrogen back to base.
You see, when you really think about it, no, the explanation is perfect, but when you really think about it, it is a lot of info and little things going on. So if this was like walking you through, like literally like, okay, to begin, bam bam bam, like that's gonna make it so much like smoother, the whole experience. It's just a little tweak, and that's it. In my opinion, it's gonna make the whole difference. So okay, left side on your screen, you'll see a list of fleets in this sector. Look for your fleet section at the very top and select undocked fleets. Okay, your fleets.
Yeah, so there you go. You have Exodus, and there's your Kagi Stream fleet. And by the way, I just want to mention, so the smallest operational unit in the game is a fleet. Now you have a fleet of one ship. As you start to craft more ships and earn more ships through gameplay, you can add many ships to a single fleet and operate those independently. And you can have many different fleets. But right now you have the one ship in a fleet, so you can click on that.
Okay, perfect.
All right, and now you have a new sub menu kind of directly below your mouse. Actually, you see those new icons. There's 7 new icons at the bottom of the screen.
Dock,
All right, so you got
warp,
dock, warp,
mining, scan, reload weapon, self-destruct. Yeah, that's basically what I do on Twitter every single day.
Kagi's crashing out. He's crashing out already.
Typical crash out.
We're gonna get you through this, man. I'm here for you. We're gonna get you through this. So right now, what you want to do is start mining. I want you to mine hydrogen. Actually, let me point out one more thing too that isn't in the notes, but on the left panel, if you click on that again, you see the details button on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Down at the bottom,
right here,
where the 8 boxes are at the bottom left of your screen in the control panel. There you go. You see that details button?
Correct. Yeah.
So if you click on that, and you can click on any of the star bases out there, and you can click on this, and it gives you all kinds of information about what is going on this star base. Now, right at the top, and the main thing you'll need this for, by the way, is identifying which resources are at which star bases. So actually, if you scroll up just a little bit, you can see the only resource at this starbase is hydrogen. And then there's some other stuff I won't cover in depth, but hardness and richness, that really determines how long does it take to craft or to mine, and how many resources does it consume, how rich are the resources. So if hardness is higher, you will mine slower. If richness is higher, you will mine more. as you're engaged in that activity. But I just wanted to point that out for anyone else that happens to be jumping into the game, and when you get beyond the tutorial, you want to know, where can I find copper, where can I find luminite, where can I find rochenol, where can I find the different resources. And now you'll only be mining from the red star bases, because you are the mud faction. So those are the star bases that your faction controls. All right, so this one has carbon and gold ore at it.
Okay, hardness. Okay, good ratio right here.
Yeah.
Let's
so
see.
Yep.
Yeah, I see. Interesting. So if I wanted to hit another player's base, I can't do that. We can't do that as a team.
You can. A bunch of these star bases have already actually changed hands. Now, this has been going for about a week now. It's been live in this initial season. And so once you build up some fighter fleets, you can go out and attack those star bases, and you can flip them so they're your faction.
Now it gets interesting. Yeah. Now in the on-chain game, real quick, before we go into the next mission, in the on-chain game, like the Sage, because guys, this one is a free-to-play version. It does have rewards, but it's a great way to get your feet into the on-chain game. And that's one of the reasons I never really got into it, because I have so many other games that I'm playing and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, if I get into Sage, I'm literally gonna have to sit down and start doing like spreadsheets and stuff like that. And I need an easy way to understand what's happening. And this is a great way. But anyway, my question is, you can lose a lot of spaceships and money like in real time in Sage, right? Like if you go big. There's a possibility, right?
So right now there's no combat in Sage, and that's for a reason. We have the combat systems, which you actually get to engage in here, but because of the real monetary value that's on the line, we have a major update that we're working on that we call C4, but that's going to add combat systems, claim stakes, crafting hubs, and council rank, which is a progression system and skill tree system. That's all been in development for the entire year so far. I'm excited to get that out, but that one has this concept of regions in it that you don't see here. And the regions, if a faction controls the king system and then all of the core systems in that game, then you have a blockade up. And when you have a blockade around a region, other ships are not able to get in and attack the assets that you have there. They have to essentially follow a path, a connected path that lets them unlock your blockaded region and then go in and attack ships. So I guess the key point is we need a little bit more stability in the mainnet version of the game, because people are making financial decisions of buying game assets around their ability to earn from them. And so because that's not a consequence in this game, we can be a little bit more flexible in how we introduce features.
Yeah, we could like take a little side step here, so the people that don't know, so they can understand how big this is, because it's crazy. It's just like so much going on. We got resources right here. This is on chain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
all of these are SFTs.
So a lot of these things you're using for your spaceships to refuel, to do all this stuff, food. But some of these things you can earn them in game while you are, exploring the world of Galia in Sage, right? I'm correct on this.
Everything that you see here is something that a player has extracted from the game. Like we don't sell any of these resources. Well, now you're looking. Oh yeah, this is the. Okay, sorry, I saw some items there that I thought were maybe out of place, but all of these resources are they start as raw materials that players extract from the game, and then they use crew members on star bases to craft those into different things. And of course, there's an open market here,
And
where
that's what I
thousands
like.
of
It's a
dollars or tens of
peer-to-peer.
thousands,
This is
fully peer to peer.
peer-to-peer. So it doesn't, there is no, the order book is like a real order book. We're not talking about what's it called, like an automated liquidity here. It's just peer-to-peer, person to person. Yeah.
Person to person. Yep.
Yeah, person to person, which is good. It gives you the real kind of like experience of like, okay, if I need this, I'll buy it, and there's no price. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, and I mean, they're not buying it from us as a studio. Now within the game, we also have a certain amount of Atlas emissions that come out every day based on engaging in different mechanics. But one option for somebody could just be, hey, you know what? I know biomass is the ingredient that goes into food, and everybody needs food in the game. So I'm going to buy a couple of ships. I'm going to go mine biomass. I'm going to craft that into food, and I'm just going to list the food on the marketplace, and some other player will buy it from me. Right? Like that's an entirely viable option for people to explore.
Correct. Yeah, that's part of what this game is. You choose your profession. You choose kind of what direction you want to go. You can be like the lord of food, basically, and be the provider of food to everybody. And there's people that are going to do that. And I think what this creates is opportunities for every single type of player. Right. Something I was talking to another MMORPG founder, and he didn't understand the concept of being a whale in a small resource, right? Like there's whales that will buy the best resource, the tier, I don't know, the best tier of resources that are really expensive, most likely in most of the games. And then I told them, Mo, there's actually people that might have $20, $30, and they start becoming mini whales in this non-expensive resources, and they start controlling and having their little kind of like pool of resources that they can sell to other players and monetize out of that. So this is what I like about this. It creates opportunity for the smaller, what's it called? For the people that have less buying power, right? And that's what I like about, all these different resources. Because this one's common, right? There's probably others that are like more expensive.
Yeah, you've touched on a key principle of our game design too, which is, as I said, we want it to be simple to learn and simple to play, but we want like difficulty in mastery, right? And we want players to be able to specialize. Now, where Sage is at right now, it's arguably still as complex as it is. And for anyone that jumps in and looks at it, like we were playing Holo Sim, there's a lot of complexity there. It's still the simplest version of the game that people will ever play. That's Sage Mainnet. When we get to C4, it is orders of magnitude more complexity. We go from 12 raw resources in the game to somewhere around 100. And then from that, you have derivations. You have thousands of different crafting recipes that come from it. So a key aspect of our vision of implementation is that players of any size can go specialize in some unique category and still find an opportunity for themselves. Because what we realize, and I didn't get a chance to jump on with you when you were on with Luke from Pixels, talking about sustainability and this idea of like people want hype, they want excitement, and we want that too. But what isn't really sustainable is just a high inflation curve on your game currency, because that is detrimental to the economy itself. So the way we can overcome that over time is by facilitating deep peer-to-peer trade and value capture by players. That's why we don't sell any of these resources. If we could just mint a resource out of thin air and sell it to a player, well, then how do you compete with that? You can't. But if you're the guy that's specializing in some very novel, unique resource on some distant edge galaxy or edge system of the galaxy, you can actually identify an opportunity for yourself. And even if you spend $10, $20, $30 in the game, you can start to build up value over time. And that peer-to-peer component of the economy is what will make Star Atlas sustainable long term.
Yeah. And it's so massive that, like you said, there's so many resources, there's so many ways to go about the game. That it's not like one person controls, the 5 resources that the game has, and that's it. The game is over because this freaking well controls everything. You can find that edge in other resources, in other professions, and I like this. I like this very much. You just gotta really start to understand the game, and you do your homework, because I know there's people in Star Atlas that are brainiacs with spreadsheets. I can't read a spreadsheet, guys. I cannot do a freaking Excel sheet. I can't do it. That's why I have a good co-founder. He's the numbers guy. I'm just the entertainer.
Well, you make a great point, though, by the way, and we have a lot of great, what we call DACs, decentralized autonomous corporations, but these are guilds of Star Atlas, and I'm not kidding. A lot of these guilds know more about the gameplay mechanics than I do, and know more about the underlying stats than I do, because they are just deep in analysis, and they build all these dashboards. And like
crazy.
flip side, before that got sunset, this Aphia guild built an entire dashboard that tracked all activity across the game, and another project called Ryden Systems that has a separate dashboard where, again, just the amount of information that you can capture and analyze and make decisions off of, which, by the way, I will add is largely because we're building all of this on chain, and so it's open, accessible, it's permissionless. Anybody that can read on chain data can then start to build out services around that and information around that, which I think is exceptionally cool. That's really the reason why we're doing the on-chain game logic in the first place, is so other people can start to build their own extensions of Star Atlas.
Businesses,
mods or businesses, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the beauty of this. There's not a lot of games in Web 2, and just quick note here, you build a business on top of Pokemon right now, they shut it down. The big IPs, they shut you down. Like, it's like, why, bro? we're trying to expand on your IP because we love your IP. And the whole idea is just shut down everything. We got to protect our IP. And it's like, it's a different take on in Web3. You can build businesses on top of a business. And we have seen this in Star Atlas. We have seen this in Axie. Not many games have this. I think right now it's basically Star Atlas and Axie. There's some businesses on top of Axie as well that have been created. And then Star Atlas, there's not many. There's really not many. But now let's go into mining.
One more thing on that. Just one more thing
ahead.
on that really quickly. I think it's a very salient point. And we realize that the scope of Star Atlas is massive. We want to find opportunities for everybody to get involved in one way or another. I think this, but for the audience, we have an open IP policy too. So if you go to build.staratlas.com, you can, that's a bunch of developer tools for anyone who's a developer. But there's also information about our open IP policy. So anybody can launch a business, start using the Star Atlas brand. So right there is actually right under creative assets, building with the Star Atlas creative IP. So here's all of the information that you would need about how do you start creating a company using the Star Atlas brand and monetizing that. The main thing is so there's no rev sharing on a business until it exceeds $1 million in gross revenue. So essentially anybody that wants to take a shot, they can start building a company around this. And we have no less than, I would say, probably 20 different companies right now that produce apparel, merchandise, 3D printed models of ships, computer peripherals, like all different kinds of things that people jewelry, board games using Star Atlas brand. So some really cool, innovative stuff that's coming up. And to be honest, I mean, we are fully focused on the game development. We don't have time to go out and build a board game on top of that. Somebody else in the community can do that, and it becomes a real opportunity for them.
Yeah, one that I really like, and this is just a shout out. I know there's many other guilds out there. I know the Star Atlas community is very passionate. I'm not I'm not giving preference to any guild or anything. This one, because I have interacted with them. And these are really cool people. The Super Phoenix DAO that basically is building like a whole world on top of a spaceship. And I have a video on this. They have some memberships and stuff like that. And I think it's a really cool idea. because it has been done in games like Entropia Universe before, and this was like, I don't know, early 2000s that was being done without crypto, without the NFT ownership, without the ability to create contracts on top of all of this assets. And I think it's going to take off at some point, this idea that you can build a business inside a game, a real business, an entertainment business, where you go into this plaza, you're either in a casino, or you're like, I don't know, some virtual strip club, or you're in a chat room hanging out with other people having a drink, or whatever, or playing mini golf with some other players and just chatting about business or whatever in a virtual world. And I think we're heading that way. We are heading that way. And that's why I'm bullish really on Star Atlas, because when you look at even businesses like IKEA, and this is a sidestep real quick here. You have IKEA in Roblox already, and you can get a business. Like, this is like, guys, this is happening, right? They're understanding this is where we're going, right? This is the real IKEA on Roblox. You can get a job here, and businesses are realizing, wait, if we want to stay up to, if we want to market, if we want those kids that are 10 years old right now to go buy furniture when they're 20, they go to college, we need to get into these games now. They need to understand that these companies exist, and this is their way of getting into that world and advertising to those kids so that they know that IKEA exists. So that's going to happen in Star Atlas too. You're going to see businesses like IKEA. You're going to see businesses like, maybe a real casino, right? Like Hard Rock Casino, building their own casino inside the game. And this is the future. This is how I see Star Atlas. It's crazy to think about, but I think we're going that way, and it's going to take some time for sure. But I'm bullish on this. Whether it's 5 years, 10 years, or whatever.
Yeah, I'm very bullish on it. I mean, the metaverse narrative has kind of fallen off. It hasn't really come back around, but I'm still, I would say, optimistic and enthusiastic about the potential for these real world companies to start integrating into digital universes as a way to present themselves. I mean, one of the coolest things from IKEA, from that IKEA, I think it's IKEA Roblox model. They're paying people like $15 an hour to be cashiers in the game.
Yeah.
And they're selling digital furniture to people. It's like, and I see that kind of same future for Star Atlas. I mean, imagine you're a player that started with $10 or $20, and you've progressed through the licensing system, and you're of an elite group that can pilot commander ships, some very large game assets. And then you have another person that comes in and just sees the opportunity, and they bought, maybe they put $1 million into the game and they bought some of these ships, but they don't intend to play, and they don't have the licensing to be able to use the ships. And so now they can go hire that person who has the pilot's licenses with the commander class approvals to go operate their game asset in the game for them and produce value in the game, produce resources that can then be sold.
Yeah. The world of Star Atlas, it's endless. To be honest, it's endless. I really want to see this come to life. I'm gonna be here. I'm probably gonna have kids by the time everything is fully fledged. They're probably gonna be the ones playing with my assets. So, anyways, let's jump into the on-chain game and finish this mission, because we haven't done mining. So let's do this. Let's see. Time to begin your career as a miner. We will start right here in our current sector. First, click on the central. Okay, easy. The one where your fleet is okay. On the left side of your screen, you'll see a list of fleets. Okay, got it. Boom, boom, boom. Did I already do that? No, I haven't.
You haven't started mining it. You read through this. Yeah. So now click on your fleet.
Okay.
And now that
mining right here.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. Let's take this out. Start mining. Okay, so this is going to give me the resources: hydrogen, mining rate 4, ammo to full, food to full. So this is what it's going to waste or spend, basically.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, you got it.
All right. And it tells you what this is for. Mining a service can perform or obtain resources. Okay. Fuel cost. Perfect. More details about right, let's do it. Let's see. So 56.
So now,
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, and you can see your cargo hold starting to fill up. Just a little quick tip for people out there: you want to be careful about how much food you put in your cargo hold. You have to burn food to mine, but if your cargo is full of food, you don't have anywhere to put the things that you mine, right? So you really want to, the way that Holo Sim is designed is somewhere around 5 to 10% of your cargo capacity. You should stock that with food, and then you can mine with that. Now that does, there are differences if you're based on that richness and hardness that we talked about earlier. So you'll figure that out as you go. But what you do want to do is just wait for this to get full so you can complete this mission. Once that hits 240, then you can stop mining.
Okay, perfect. But I could stop it beforehand if I wanted to, basically.
If you need to interrupt it, sure, yeah, you can stop. Or if you're just looking for a certain amount, you can stop. Okay, so it says you're full now. Should be good to go.
Okay, perfect. And then if I go to cargo, oh, now it tells me what I have. Okay, so yeah, 12 food and 227. Why is it less here and more here? 239. Maybe
Well,
let's
because your food and your hydrogen, what you just mined, are all in that cargo hold. You have separate inventory for your fuel and for your ammunition, but your food goes in the same cargo hold as what you're mining. So 12 plus 227 is the 239.
Oh, I see. This is just a hold. Yeah, okay. Now, hey, I'm learning some math here. Holy shit. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Okay, now we got to dock our ship, and we can actually see it in real time, kind of like your spaceship moving from one place to the other one when you travel. Because I did play the game before this event started. So let's see.
All of these ships moving around, they're the little arrows. This is low fidelity. It's in browser, but all of those little arrows that you see moving around, those are other players that are moving ships and managing their logistics and doing different things.
Interesting. Yeah. Pretty sick. All right, let me see. Let's do this last one because I think this one actually takes you out into another place. If I'm not mistaken. Learn about mining. Okay. Warp. So this is it. You got the warp feature now. So this is how you travel. There's like 2 ways of traveling if I remember correctly.
That's
Move
right.
your
There's warp.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is actually the subwarp one. I think the mission right above this is the warp one.
Yeah. Okay.
There
Yeah,
you
got it. Okay. Move your undocked fleet into warp movement. Okay. So if I go right here, go to my fleet, should I repair it? No, I don't need to repair it.
You don't need to repair it. You did dock. So what you need to do right now to move is you just have to undock. So that button on the, yeah, there you go.
Okay, perfect. And now subwarp.
But this mission, the first one, wants you to warp. Now, if you're warping, you have a limited distance that you can go, and it consumes a lot more fuel, but you go there a lot faster. So I would just go 1 square away. You only have to go 1 grid space away, so you're not wasting fuel. You see the outline, by the way? There's like the dark squares and then that light square. It's almost like a circle. So that's the travel range that you have, that light area around the space station. So,
okay, wait. Let's see. Let's cancel warp here. Let's do this again. Hey, what the hell? Okay. So I'm gonna go to fleet, warp, and you're talking about this right here.
Well, yeah, there's kind of this, I actually don't know how to describe that shape, but you see like there's the light area that's all around you. And then there's those darker squares outside of that. All right. So your range is within the light area. Now, as you get bigger ships, that range gets bigger, but right now you're limited because this is an extra small ship. You're limited to that kind of light area around you. So
got
click
it
there actually.
Yeah, got it. Did I do it?
Right there you go.
Start
Click
warp.
there. That's fine. Start warp. There you go.
Okay, and you can see it in real time right here. Boom. There you go.
All happening on chain, by the way. That movement was on chain. The coordinates are on chain. Locations on chain.
But let me ask you something. the on-chain movement here is point A and then point B, right? Not through the movement.
Well, you'll actually it does track your location, your coordinates in real time as well. Now, if you use this warp, you can't interrupt it. You can't, once you start warping, you are going to go wherever you warped to. But when you do this next one, just do one more, and then like you're almost through the tutorial, but we can just do this one more, which is the slow and steady, and we'll get you back to the central space station. So your ship is actually it's like the green circle. That's right. That one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so select your fleet, and now subwarp, and just subwarp right back to the central space station.
Okay. Start subwarp. Okay, I see. And the color changes, actually, I think. Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Never mind.
Yeah, you can, like, the fleets that are right in front of you, those are bigger fleets. That's why they have the bigger little triangles, little arrows.
Interesting.
So now this is Sage and Holo Sim use what we call a sector system. That's the grid system that you see when you're looking to click. C4 is actually going to eliminate that, and it's like an infinite point travel system. So you no longer will be limited to selecting squares. You can select any point in space and travel to that. Now, because you're only moving one square, you can't really interrupt it, because if you stopped your subwarp, which you can do with subwarping, if you stopped your subwarp, it would just stop you at the center of whichever square you're closest to. So if there were 10 in between, you could stop anywhere between the point A and point B there with subwarping. And I'll leave the audience with one little note on this as well, which is, be careful about how much fuel you have, because if you do travel somewhere really far and you run out of fuel, you will have to self-destruct, and then you lose all of the resources that you have on the ship. Your ship has to get towed back to the CSS, and you lose access to it for 18 hours. So just pay attention to the resources, because you can get yourself stranded out in space, and nobody will hear you scream.
Interesting. All right, perfect. I think we got a pretty good understanding. I think the only thing that we didn't get to is like trading and all of that stuff, but we can get to that another time. I think I'm gonna explore this game a little bit more and try to make a very high level tutorial of what is happening in this game, because it is a lot. And I think we need more tutorials on this game. I wonder if there's other people making tutorials on Holo Sim or Sage right now. Do you know if there's anybody? Maybe we can point some people into that if they're interested.
So I know there are on Sage, and I'll call out one creator. It's Beyond the Horizon. You probably have seen some of his content. I don't know if he's done something for Holo Sim yet. He might have, but he's always producing content for different releases and different game features for Star Atlas. Beyond the Horizon. He's on YouTube as well.
Let me actually share him here real quick on screen. Share this tab instead. Okay, there you go. I'm actually subscribed to him.
Nice.
Let's see. He has.
There you go.
Yeah, this guy's doubling down on Star Atlas. It's crazy because there is an opportunity here for the people that want to be creators. Star Atlas has so much content that there is an opportunity here to become a creator and grow with Star Atlas. This is how I started in crypto gaming. I took a game. I literally had the same viewers as him, literally 30 in 2020. Nobody was watching. It was like 5 people. So the fact that he's doing it consistently here, I would just say if he's watching this, he should keep going and not worry about the views. The views will come just like now. Now I'm interested. Now I need somebody to explain to me. And then little by little, it just compiles, it compounds, and it just gets bigger. It's only 1,400 subscribers, but this can easily get to 50,000, 100K, 200K as the game gets bigger. And if you look at something just like Star Citizen, right? Like there's people with hundreds of thousands of views here. Look at this. 1 month ago, this is kind of like a sensational kind of like title here, of course, but still, 87,000 views right here, 800K views. I mean, these are the kind of views we're going to see in Star Atlas. So this is something that you should definitely look into if you want to be a creator, and if you believe in the future of Star Atlas. This is it. This can take you to the next level if you enjoy this game. So I just want to put that out there, that you just gotta have vision, right, and not worry about the views. This is good. This is healthy.
Yeah. I mean, big shout out to him. You know, like you can see, every couple of days he's publishing content. We just announced this new resource, Ink, that's added. I talked about that a little bit at the start in the shooter modes and the racing modes in Unreal Engine, but we just released this today. He's already got a video out about it.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. You know, real creators. These are the real creators. Not. I don't want to take shots at XKOLs, but you guys know what I'm saying here. These are the people that really carry the industry. Little by little, we're gonna see more of this again. You know, because there was a big, downward spiral after 2021, but I think it's gonna be more consistent now. After 5 years, the space being kind of live, we're gonna see more creators that really want to do content because they love doing content, not because there's money in it. That's how I started. There was no money. I didn't even know this shit was gonna blow up. I just love doing gaming content, and these are the creators we need. So a shout out to him, really. For sure. I can already give him some tips here. We need some timestamps. I don't know what's happening. This is a long video. 20. Yeah, I know. It's important. But anyways, shout out to him. And let's see. One last thing. Let's talk about Zinc. Let's talk about Zinc. This is your new blockchain that will power Star Atlas and many other products within Star Atlas. So let's actually share this right here, this tab right here in our news site. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys can go to juices.io. We cover many crypto games, many crypto games. And of course, we're always going to cover Star Atlas, as we are, I've been an ambassador of Star Atlas for 5 years now. So there you guys have it. Talk to me a little bit about Zinc. The airdrop that might be coming soon, that is connected maybe to Holo, to Sage, to other products. I don't know if you can talk about that too much in terms of airdrop, but just go into it. What is Zinc, and what does it have to offer for us?
Yeah, and since we just covered since we just covered Ink in Unreal Engine, I do just want to differentiate between them. They're different things. There is a deeper connection there, but kind of leave that mysterious for now. But I just want to be clear. Zinc is this identity-linked SVM L1 that we are launching. This rose, and SVM is Solana Virtual Machine, just for anyone that maybe is not familiar with that. Right now, all of the Star Atlas game systems live on Solana. And this Zinc concept largely arose out of necessity. And that's largely because we do have this very sophisticated on-chain game logic. And one of the things I never anticipated, like I'm still a huge fan of Solana, a big proponent of Solana. One of the things we never anticipated is that we would encounter issues with things like transaction throughput and network fees. Now, it's one of the things I've talked about a lot. You've interviewed me before and asked me why build on Solana. It's high transaction throughput, very short time to finality on transactions, and then also very low transaction costs. And that is still true, but when you have a user base that's processing thousands or tens of thousands of transactions per day, well, the cumulative value of all of that starts to get quite expensive. And actually our users were paying as much as 30% of their earnings from the game on transaction fees. And so Zinc is something that has actually been in development internally for about 3 years now, not for that purpose at all, but because we needed our own testnet infrastructure that we could deploy programs to before shipping them to mainnet. So over the course of this year, given the issues that our users were facing and some other unique selling points like this pure digital identity piece, we made the decision that we're going to launch our own L1, and we're going to bootstrap the network by moving Star Atlas game systems over to it. And one really cool thing here that you have highlighted is this avatar concept, or this on-chain profile concept. And I know this is not totally unique. We're not the first ones to do this, but we think it's pretty cool. Essentially, your on-chain activity and some off-chain metrics that we track are going to be used to progress your account up. So, really pulling from our gaming roots and gamifying this avatar. And so, what that establishes for you, though, is status and reputation and a history. So Kagi, when you register your profile and you start playing Holo Sim, that'll start earning XP towards your account, right? And in fact, you mentioned the airdrop. I don't have a specific date for it yet, but we're working on launching the dashboard platform right now. And all of the XP tracking mechanics, but the things that will earn you XP are playing the Unreal Engine client, playing Sage, playing Holo Sim, trading on the marketplace, locking Atlas and Polis in the lockers, our staking mechanism for those 2 tokens. And then a handful of additional other mechanics, and we'll continue to build those out. But really, this whole first airdrop, of which 10% of the total token supply is going to, is all based on engaging in Star Atlas mechanics, Star Atlas games, and then Star Atlas, tokens and marketplace. So super excited about the launch of this. It's going to reduce our user costs by greater than 99%, but that's really a function of the fact that when this launches, it's not going to have the market cap that Solana has. It's not an $80 billion market cap out of the gate, and so that'll reduce our user costs. I could go a lot deeper into that, but just as a high level, the website is z.inc, which I think is a super cool domain too. And then, we'll be able to, we're going to launch an on-chain naming service as well. So the .inc domain, Kagi.inc, or I think you said I have to pay you a lot of money to do that, but I'm rocking the Swagner.inc right now.
Let's see if I incorporate it somehow into my world, because right now I have that run, but Star Atlas is part of my journey in crypto, so it would make sense for me to have it too. So we'll see about that. Now let me ask you, I was going to tell you that this only works, this kind of new products that you're building, this kind of layer on top of what you have, player profile and all this stuff. It only works when you have a community. So different from other products, they have great products. There's great products out there, without mentioning any names, that have identity layer and all this stuff. But that doesn't work unless you have a community. It doesn't work because it just, you're telling other teams, hey, like, here, come build with my identity protocol, but teams want control of their protocol. So very different. Like, you actually have a community and you can expand and you can actually lure other games in the future into this because you already have a community built for this. It's similar to what Axie did in some way, right? With Ronin, right? Axie became big. Now you have Ronin. Now there's other games and other products that want to tap into that community. And that's what basically Axie did for Ronin. It transferred that value into Ronin. And in the same way, I think Star Atlas is transferring the value right here to Zinc and then potentially to other products in the future, right? That's the idea.
You nailed it. Yeah, I mean, what you're talking about is what's known as the cold start problem in tech. Well, I mean, really any company, but like very well spoken about in tech. But it's kind of that chicken and egg, right? And we actually have a huge opportunity in that we have Star Atlas with a cult following behind it, with a very passionate community, and our game systems already produce a significant amount of transaction volume on Solana. And so what we get to do is say, well, we're launching Zinc with a flagship Web3 game title on it on day one, and this network is going to be producing somewhere around 5 to 10 million transactions per day. This is just one metric, but if you benchmark that against all of the L1s and all of the L2s and their actual transaction throughput, like what is happening on these networks. Uh, we today, just with our existing user base, produce more transactions than Ethereum, than Arbitrum, than Polygon, than most of these like L1s and L2s that are out there. And so we get to start Zinc with that type of activity. And activity begets activity. When there's things happening in any type of, call it network or social network, people want to be there. And we also have this advantage of a lot of people want to partner with Star Atlas. I get messages every single day of people that want to work with us at Star Atlas, and I'm already seeing that bleed over into Zinc. And so I guess what I do want to be very clear about is that we consider this an L1. It's going to have a validator set. It is going to be full, open, permissionless, and decentralized. And we're not theming this as a gaming chain. It has the identity piece, which is unique to Zinc, but it's not a gaming chain. Like I expect DeFi and DPIN and marketplaces and PFP NFTs and who knows, maybe meme coins launch on this network eventually. We just have this really significant advantage of starting the network with Star Atlas, with all of this activity and all of this attention and interest that people already put into Star Atlas.
And now let me ask you, what about the assets on Star Atlas that we have right now? How will that work? Zinc comes out. Is that like an automatic kind of like transition, or do people have to do something? Are you airdropping, or the assets that you have right now are already kind of operating on this layer? What's the idea behind this?
Yeah, it is totally separate network. We have a bridge that we'll be releasing, and so yeah, you will have to bridge your assets from Solana over to Zinc. I think there's probably some interesting mint and burn mechanics that will eventually introduce over time, so you can just have assets natively on Zinc. And then also in the future, we will eventually transition our marketplace over there, eventually transition our DAO over there. For now, those are going to continue operating on Solana. So if you have Polis locked in the governance locker, you don't have to do anything with it for now. That will continue operating on Solana, but your game assets will come over to Zinc. We haven't actually shared this, but I'll share it with you here, Kagi, and with your audience. But really, the way we are likely to do it for a game transition from Star-based, the current version of Sage, over to C4 when we launch that, is through the port of entry, and that's how you get all of your game assets into Sage today. Is you kind of deposit them into this on-chain program, this game ID, and then you can start playing with them. But you do that through a port of entry. And so the port of entry out of Starbased will be a direct port of entry into C4. So you won't actually know that you're really transitioning and you're moving to a new network. It'll just be part of that smooth transition. But otherwise, the bridge will be there for you to transfer back and forth.
Interesting. So through gameplay, you're basically transitioning. That's crazy.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of like going into. I think the best analogy would be like going into an alternative dimension. You're in the Gallia universe of Starbased, and you leave through the port of entry, and it just teleports you into the Zinc network.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way to do it. Yeah. All right, man. Actually, I have one more question. What partnerships do you have locked in right now that you can share, obviously, as soon as this network launches? And what is the outlook here? Like, are we talking about in 3 months, 4 months, 2 months? When does this launches officially? Not the airdrop campaign, not the earning campaign, not the XP campaign, but more like actually established, it's out there, and people can use it, people can build on it. And is it going to be permissionless, or people are going to have to, or projects are going to have to reach out to Star Atlas first at the beginning? How is that going to play out?
Yes. So to your first question, no partnerships that I can announce right now. We do have, I'll just say like high level, we have a wallet partner for this already, which is nice. But realistically, we just got through our Star Atlas summer campaign. We're going to be kicking off our business development efforts over the next couple of weeks and months, and looking to bring some other teams in. And I'm really thinking about some of the DeFi infrastructure that people will come to expect. A DEX, an aggregator, AMMs, liquidity pools, things like this. So I want to focus there, but I am also looking for at least one other on-chain game. Doesn't have to be fully on-chain game, but another game that builds with similar philosophy to us. We actually have a bunch of tools and infrastructure that we've built over the years that allow us to execute our MMO game systems on chain that we're going to be providing to partners as they join us. So I am looking for at least one other game that I'd like to bring over, but none of those conversations have started yet. But if you have somebody, and I'm sure you
I
probably
do.
do.
I
Yeah.
do, and he's on Solana too.
Okay.
He's on. Yeah. I'll talk to you
Well,
off.
we should connect.
Yeah. You probably know them. But let's see. Let's talk about let's talk about
Yeah.
this off the
You
the
bet.
stream. But yeah.
So no partnerships we can announce yet, but the goal is to have some partnerships lined up before we have our Genesis event, our mainnet launch. Your second question, I think, was, is it permissionless? It's not. We do want to prioritize Star Atlas really as first-class citizens on this, and give the network time to mature and make sure everything's stable and functional for our core users and for that early partner set that we bring on. I do think within 18 to 24 months, we probably see a greater degree of decentralization on the network. And then your last question was, when does this all go live? We're always very sensitive about sharing dates. We've had our feet held to the fire many times whenever we announce any kind of date when we don't have certainty around it. We had a very, very ambitious goal of having our Genesis event by the end of the year in December. I think it's more likely it happens in Q1, but I can't really commit to any timeline right now. But the airdrop campaign is going to, it's certainly going to kick off well before that. So that's, within the next month or two, I think the airdrop will start. That will run for a few months, and then we'll have our Genesis, our token generation event, and mainnet launch, and Star Atlas game systems running on the network.
Yo, I think that's perfect. I think we covered basically everything that Star Atlas has to offer today in 1 hour and 30 minutes. So I want to thank you, bro, for always giving me your time and always keeping me in mind when you guys are launching products, when you guys are launching new gameplay, new everything. Because this is a long journey. This is not like, oh yeah, 1 year, whatever. And there's not many people that stick around, So we got to stick around with the people that are sticking around, basically, because there's a lot of the new word now in crypto is a tourist. We got a lot of tourists out here that are not sticking here for a long time, and they will be gone after this bull market, and we will still be here. And so I appreciate that we're always connecting and bringing new content together. This is going to be a good market. In the next couple months, I think gaming will take off again. And I'm bullish on it. Only on the free games, not the whole space. Only on the free games. Star Atlas being one of them. So.
Well, I appreciate it, man. And I'm always happy to come on and join you. I've said this before, but you were the first guy to cover us. Kind of like a BTH back in the day. 2021, we released the white paper and the dream. And you're the first guy, put a video together reviewing the whole white paper. And we've kept in touch over the years. I always appreciate your genuine feedback and critical takes when they're necessary. Not of us, of course. You always say good things about us, but you keep it real, man. You're a real one. So always appreciate the time, man, and happy to jump on with you.
To be honest, I don't see anything bad with Star Atlas. Like that's the thing. Like I've never seen anything like, bro, fuck these people. Like I never really felt like that. I felt that with Axie and Ronan, and I'm an ambassador for Ronan. I felt it, and I said, and I've said it. What the fuck are you guys doing? But with Star Atlas, for the most part, I have never felt like that. Other than giving you criticisms on the gameplay now on Sage or whatever, the tutorial part. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, just walk me through. I'm a baby on this. That's the only criticisms that I can think of, really. And every other FUD that I see on Twitter sometimes from time to time, like, oh, they're using Lyra, they're using blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, do you guys like not understand like how big this is? Like you can, like, I'm literally building a news site, and it's hard as fuck just to keep up with news. Just keeping up with news is hard. Building a news site is hard. I can only imagine building something that is 100x harder than a news site. It's like, have you guys ever built anything? Like, what are you saying? What are you talking about? So yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, and by the way, congratulations, man. I saw you got unbanned from the Axie Discord after like 4 years, so happy for you.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because actually, I was already kind of unbanned, but I saved it for a marketing purposes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a marketing event.
Strategic. I like it.
Strategic.
Okay.
It was strategic unbanned. So that's the
Nice.
sauce right there. That's the secret sauce. Now, let me give a shout out to everybody that came through today on the chat right here. Krypton, thank you for coming by. Aneko GameFi, maybe you know some of these people. Apex, my co-founder, shout out, always doing the content on Juice News. Crazy guy. This guy just keeps up with everything. Andres Camacho, we got Archetype, we got Zoe, we got Corwin. We also have Crypto Googie, and we also have who else? We also have Anurag Sifawal, and many other people. Everybody that is lurking, that came through, that just was hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Make sure you guys check out Star Atlas. And if you have last words for Star Atlas, let us know right now. Wagner, let us know.
Well, first of all, no less than 5 of those names were Star Atlas community members. So I appreciate you all showing up. To Kagi's audience, thank you guys for tuning in, listening. Hopefully this was enjoyable for you. There's a lot of depth to Star Atlas. There's a lot more still to come, but there's a lot to do right now. I did kind of tease this at the beginning, but it's free to jump in and download the Unreal Engine client on Epic Game Store. And right now we're running a double XP weekend. You're earning that ink exotic resource that actually gets tied back into gameplay and Sage. So there's ways to engage. There's ways to earn. You don't have to dump a bunch of money into it. You can actually play for free right now. And yeah, Holo Sim is running for another 4 weeks or so. We didn't go into detail on it, but you guys can find that on the Star Atlas X account. There's 2 different rewards tracks that you can participate in and get access to some soul in a wallet, some ships, some USDC, a unique Soul Flare ship skin. So a lot happening right now. A lot of different ways to play. In fact, I'm playing so much myself. I mean, I'm probably missing some work responsibilities because I'm doing a little bit of everything. But thank you again, Kagi, for having me on, and everyone who tuned in, and we'll do it again.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the stream. I appreciate every single one of you that came through today. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, KagiChan1, and also Star Atlas. You're probably going to see Wagner's name too somewhere around there. Let me see, AT Wagner, or I think that's what it is. Swagner.
I need to get a better handle. Yeah,
I hate it, bro. I hate it. You know what? I should have told you a long time ago.
AT_M Wagner. Yeah, that's me though.
Yeah, follow him. This is one of the best founders here in Web3 as a whole, and crypto gaming as well. There's not many like him that stick around, that stick to their word, and it's just a fucking grinder and hangs out with the community. Very, very important. Very, very important, because people want to be connected to founders. We're in early stage. Why are founders pretending like they're fucking, I don't know, running fucking the United States of America or some crap like that? Bro, show up. People want to hang out with you on good faith too. It's not even like they're trying to, annoy you. They want to be part of like the growth. So it means a lot to people. But anyways, much love, guys. Have a good day. Have a good night wherever you are. And I'll see you guys very, very soon in the next stream, next tutorial. Bye-bye. Peace.
Cheers.